Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-August horoscope and taroscope. We're heading into Virgo season, but before that we have a new moon in Leo. And this new moon is going to be in your ninth house of travel, higher thought, law, philosophy, that kind of thing. It's a beautiful time to spark up some new ideas, but also to make travel boards, plan where you want to go. Obviously whenever travel is easier, planning trips, it does rule long distance trips, but with the world being the way it is, anytime something comes up in the ninth house, I just think, how do I explain this? But I think for many of you, it is your house. You are ninth house people. And I think that this energy is very much to do with getting a higher perspective to alleviate some of the anxieties of this month between, your fifth house of play with your second house of wealth and worth. There's a lot of tension going on between the two. So be careful of your spending this month, but do bear in mind that the Sun and Mars, both in fire signs, your sister signs, are going to trine, and Mercury as well is going to trine Mars, and this is beautiful energy. Not only that, the Sun is going to sextile the true node, so as far as love goes for the rest of the month, there's actually quite a lot of opportunities. So, if love is something you're looking for, the next half of the month could be quite romantic if it doesn't challenge you financially. And it may, though, a lot of the times love can bring up wounds for people. It can bring up self-worth wounds, especially if you're single. You might actually be wondering this month, why is this not happening for me? Or why is this always going a certain way? And it's really asking you, Sagittarius, to get in tune with what you think you deserve. Ooh, the moon. Beautiful. And what's really going on beneath. Okay, so with the moon card, it shows that there is a lot going on below the surface for you. There is a lot of hidden fears coming to the surface. And I think, Sagittarius, a lot of it is maybe to do with that worth. The Ace of Pentacles is worth, value. It's an offer of some kind, which is interesting. Oh, too many cards have come out here. Okay, I'm going to continue and take one more. I'm only doing 3. With the moon and the Ace of Pentacles, an offer seemingly comes out of nowhere. Ooh, 10 of Swords. Okay, so you are dealing with some heavy stuff underneath. Okay, Sagittarius, so I'm going to draw one more card. I'm not going to leave you in the 10 of Swords, obviously. 2 of Wands. Okay, so we're clearing a path. Do you know what this reminds me of? And the 8 of Pentacles is underneath. Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when there's a really heavy storm at night, and the next day you're out driving and you're going down a road that's familiar, and it's blocked with debris. It's blocked with branches, it's blocked with wood, different things that have fallen from the trees, different types of debris anyway. It's kind of going down a road that has been affected by the storm, and it makes your journey a little bit slower, and you have to clear some things before you progress. That's exactly what this is. 10 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. So, exactly as the stars pertained, there is some kind of offering for you. And with that offering, you start to question things. You start to question your desirability, you start to question your worth, and it's not because it's telling you that you don't deserve these things. It's actually because it's going against the grain of what maybe deep down in your unconscious mind you believe. You may have an unhealthy belief about how lovable you are. You might have an unhealthy belief about how worthy you are. You might have an unhealthy belief about what type of money you could earn, how smart you are. Because I think oftentimes with Sagittarians, you're more likely to doubt your smarts than your desirability. It's just something that I've kind of observed with Sagittarians. I feel like you kind of overthink just how much you contribute on a verbal level more than anything else. I think Sagittarians can oftentimes, in seeking the truth, I think a lot of the times you can discredit your own rationale at times. Maybe resonates, maybe doesn't. But with the moon and the Ace of Pentacles, there is some kind of trigger here in the form of an offer. Now, I think it's a good offer. Or it's an idea. But I think it's something that you've actually been working a lot at behind the scenes. Now, with the sun in Leo, one thing that comes up with the sun is that it causes shadow. So with so much going on with Pluto and Mars not being on good terms, those are the Scorpio planets, there's a lot coming up on your shadow side. The Ten of Swords is your shadow side. It's when you've rejected parts of yourself that need to be aired. And the moon is the shadows. And out of that comes some kind of offer. Seemingly, I do think you're getting some kind of offer out of nowhere. Or perhaps you've had bad news about a job or an opportunity. There is some kind of trigger for you, Sagittarius. It's asking you to clear some subconscious debris. Clear out some old beliefs, clear out some ways of thinking, clear out some ways of doing things even in order to take this new path. Because it's not that the road is closed, it's just that there's some stuff you need to get rid of in order to progress down to where you want to go. And I think a lot of you are forging a new path. I do think for many of you that are you've either recently started a job this year or you started a business, I feel like there's been a lot of setbacks. Obviously with the current situation in the world, that makes sense. But with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords, maybe some offer really went awry. Maybe there was stuff behind the scenes you couldn't see. And it is all occurring in order for you to end out some cycle here. With the Ten of Swords, I have to say, I often see this kind of cycle as being something that is long overdue, because the Ten of Swords is overkill. Nobody needs 10 swords in their back to get the message. One is enough. Mentally, there's been some kind of overkill here of too much. And that's why you're being asked to clear it. This is a buildup of things. This isn't just one event. This is the clearing of some kind of karma. This is the clearing of some kind of path. This is the clearing of some kind of blockages. For many of you with the Ten of Swords, I think you could be trying alternative healing, such as acupuncture, such as Reiki, because there is some kind of blockage. My August scope for Gemini might have something in it for you, especially if you're dealing with a Gemini, because let's not forget, the true node is, of course, there in Gemini in your partnership sector, and it's sextiling the sun in your 9th. So that's asking you to give a little bit of healing to love karma, especially how you think about it, how you work with it, in order to get forward, in order to get to where you want to go. Because with the Two of Wands, there's actually two very distinctive opportunities coming up for you. So don't cast yourself out because of one. If something has been going wrong, you have to believe that, and you do because you're a Sagittarius, you have to believe that there's more opportunities coming up here. But you're being asked to work a little bit more on your shadow side. So let's talk about that. Your shadow side, Sagittarius, is not the side of you that is that call of the void, where you think of doing something really dark, you think of driving off a cliff or something like that. It's not what that is, and everybody recognizes that. It's just that little bit in your brain that will make you think something dark sporadically, and you'll be like, oh, where did that come from? Your shadow side is actually the part of yourself you suppress in order to move forward. So say, for example, like myself, you decided to do law as a career, but you were a creative person. You were a painter. You were an artist. You were a singer. And you decided that in order to progress in your studies, you would study really hard and maybe put those away, even though that's your nature. And you can usually see in school, in your early years, how you played or what your interests were. That's usually your shadow side later in life, because those are the things you put away because they're not sustainable or they're not tangible. So that part of yourself that you shut away with the Eight of Pentacles, particularly as she is painting there with her easel, that is the side of you, Sagittarius, that you need to work with. And you can see that the Pentacles in this card all have different patterns. So there could be many things that you're good at and you're looking to find a way to incorporate them all. But stay true to your passions. That's one way for you to heal and move forward. And there's a big clue going forward, Sagittarius, and just how authentically you're going to do it. The South Node is in your sign. And it's getting love from the sun. But in order for you to progress, you need to have that different perspective. You need to trust in the void as well. There is a space that's being created in your life in some way, and you have to trust that the path you're going down is meant for you, because it is going to lead you somewhere. It is leading you to something that is more fulfilling for you. You know, this journey over the next couple of years with the South Node is really going to ask you to be true to who you are. And the way that you're going to do that is by your one-on-one relationships. So maybe something has gotten deeper, maybe something has come up in love or business that is really making you doubt yourself, making you fearful, spiraling you into a feeling of anxiety. And you just have to say that I need to address this. Nobody else can do it for me. I can't hand my inner child over to someone else to raise. I have to do this. I have to pull the swords out and figure out what the next step is. And from there, you do immense healing and you really steam forward, Sagittarius. So I love you guys very much, and I will see you in September. Take care, Sagittarius. Bye.